So, okay, let's start with the basics of software testing. So, introduction to software testing. So, let's start with basics. Like what is software? How many types of software we have? What is testing? What is application? Like the terminologies we have to see here. So, the first one is what is software? So, what is software, guys? What is software? Are you able to hear me, ma? Hello? Are you able to hear me, ma?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So software. So software is a collection of computer programs or instructions that helps us to perform a specific task. It is nothing but software. What is software means? Software is a collection of computer programs or instructions.
Hello.
Hello, am
Now,
I
what is
audible?
the syllabus covered here?
So on yesterday's demos class, we will discuss like what are the topics we are going to cover throughout the class. So you have to listen that video. Okay.
How many days is covered?
It's 45 to 55 days. So you can go through the previous class. Okay. After the session is completed, you can go through the video. So software is a collection of computer programs or instructions that helps us to perform specific task. To perform specific task. So this is the definition of software. Software is a collection of computer programs or instructions that helps us to perform specific task. For example, I'm giving some instructions to the computer like A equal to 10 and then B equal to 20 and then C equal to A plus B. So I'm giving some instructions to the computer. Computer can perform some operations and give you some output like C equal to 30. Okay, so I'm giving some instructions to the computer. Computer can perform some operations and give you some output. So that is nothing but software. Collection of computer programs. For example, you can call this is one program. Same like that, different types of programs. So collectively, we can call it as a software. Collectively, you can call it as a software. So software is a collection of computer programs or instructions so that helps us to perform specific task or specific kind of operations. It is nothing but software. So every application in your mobile, like Play Store is a software, WhatsApp is a software, Google Play is a software, Facebook is a software. So these are all softwares. So software is a collection of computer programs or instructions that helps us to perform specific kind of operations. It is nothing but software. It is nothing but software. So we have how many types of softwares? Do you have any idea? How many types of softwares we have?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So mainly there are three types of softwares we have. So the first one is system software, and then second one is programming software, and then third one is application software. So we have three types of softwares like system software, programming software, and application software. Everyone clear, right? What is software? So software is a collection of computer programs or instructions that helps us to perform a specific task. It is nothing but software. Collection of computer programs. So program is nothing but set of instructions. We can call it as a program. Set of instructions. We can call it as a program. So what is instruction? What is instruction? Set of statements. It is nothing but an instruction. Set of statements, we can call it as an instruction. So I'm giving some instructions. To the computer can perform some operations and give you some output in the result. So that is nothing but software. So this collection of computer programs, you can call it as an software. So we have three types of softwares like system software, programming software, and application software. So now we will see one by one. So the system software, the first one is system software. System software, it is a collection of computer programs so that is designed to manage system resources. In simple terms, system software is used to run the system. In simple terms, system software is used to run the system. System software is used to run the system. To run the system, what are the components we need? So what are the components we need? So what are the main components we need to run the system? So can you please give me some examples to run the system? What are the components we need?
OS.
Very good. Operating system. Exactly. Operating system. So without operating system, is there any use for the system? No, right? So must and should we need operating system. So what is operating system? Operating system is nothing but platform plus processor. We can call it as an operating system. So we have different types of operating systems are there, like Windows operating system, Linux operating system, Unix operating system, Mac operating system, like different types of operating systems we have, right? Platform is nothing but what? So what is the difference between platform dependent and platform independent? Guys, respond. What is the difference between platform dependent and platform independent?
If we develop a software, if that is run in particular machine, that is platform dependent.
Okay.
If that is run in another OS, that is platform independent.
Okay. So platform dependent is nothing but if you write the script, if you write the code in one operating system, that is Windows operating system, you can run the same script in that operating system only. That is nothing but platform dependent. Platform independent is nothing but if you write the program in one operating system, that is Windows operating system, you can run the same program in multiple operating systems. So multiple operating systems, it is nothing but platform independent. Okay, so platform dependent and platform independent. So to run the system, first we need OS, operating systems, and then what is the main component we need to run the system? Operating system, then We need device drivers, right? What is device driver? Device drivers is nothing but keyboard, mouse, right? So we are connecting keyboard to your system. We are connecting mouse to your system. We are connecting printers to your system. We are connecting screens to your system, right? Right? We are connecting monitor to your system. We are connecting like CPU to your system. So those are all comes under device drivers. Device drivers. So without device drivers, you cannot perform any operation in the system, right? So must and should we need device drivers, and then servers. Servers also we need. For example, if I am giving any request like what is manual testing, so the server will respond. Server is nothing but the database. If I am giving like what is manual testing, so the response will be getting from server side, database side. So must and should we need servers to run the system, and then we need some utilities also. Utilities is nothing but you need to download and install some special softwares into your machine. So that is nothing but utilities. Utilities is nothing but special softwares. So system software is used to run the system. So examples: operating system, device drivers, servers, utilities, etc. And then coming to the second one, that is nothing but programming software. So programming software. So who will use programming software? Programming software is used to run the program. Is used to run the program. Who will use programming software? Programming software is used by programmers. Is used by programmers to run the program. To run the program. So programming software is used by programmers to run the program. It is nothing but programming software. So programming software. So here we are using programming tools. So like that enables developers to develop, write, test, and debug other software programs. Other software programs. So that is nothing but programming software. In simple terms, programming software is used by programmers to run the program. Examples: to run the program, what are the components we need? Like assemblers, then compilers, and then like interpreters, and then debuggers we need, etc. We need assemblers, compilers, interpreters, debuggers, etc. So assembler is nothing but it will be converting like assembly language to machine understandable language. It will be converting human understandable language to machine understandable language. So that is nothing but assembler. So assemblers are used to convert human understandable language to machine understandable language. So human understandable language is nothing but normal English, plain English is human understandable language. It will be converting into machine understandable language. So machine understandable language, computer understandable language is, what is computer understandable language?
Binary.
Binary digits, zeros and ones, right? So it will be converting. Like then like interpreters, assemblers, and debuggers. Like interpreters is nothing but it will execute code line by line. So line by line it will be executed, interpreters. And then compilers. So compilers is nothing but it will be translating like entire code to machine code before execution. So that is nothing but compilers. And then debuggers. So debuggers is nothing but debugger is a tool that helps to find and fix the errors in the program. So to find out and fix the errors in the program by using debuggers. So here programming software is used by programmers to run the program. To run the program, we need different types of components like assemblers, compilers, interpreters, and debuggers. Okay. Then the third one is application software. Third one is application software. So application software. Who will use application software? Who will use application software? We only, write end users only. Application software is used by end users. End users. Application software is used by end users. So what are the how many types of application softwares we have? Examples, we have three types of applications like web applications, and then mobile applications, then mobile applications, and then desktop or standalone applications. Desktop or standalone applications or personal computers. So application software is used by end users. Examples of application software is web applications, mobile applications, desktop or standalone applications. So web applications, web applications is nothing but through internet you can run the application. Through internet you can run the applications. That is nothing but web application. Through internet we can run any application. Any application, it is nothing but an web application. Web application. So a web application is an application we can use through the internet using a browser. Either it may be a Chrome browser, an Internet Explorer, or a Firefox, whatever it may be. Okay. So through internet you can run any application. It is nothing but a web application. All online portals will come under web applications only. Like examples, Flipkart, Amazon. Examples, Flipkart, Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, online bankings. Okay. So these are the examples of web application. Through internet, you can run any application. It is comes under web applications. Examples like Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, YouTube, Facebook, online bankings, educations, domains. So these are the examples of web application. Then coming to the mobile application. So mobile application is nothing but what? Through Play Store. If you are using Android mobile, then through Play Store you have to download some applications, right? If you are using any Mac, then you can use Apple Store, right? So mobile, using mobile, you can we can download any applications. It is comes under mobile application. Through Play Store, you have to download any applications. It is comes under mobile applications. So examples for mobile applications like WhatsApp, Instagram, Spotify. These are the examples of mobile applications. Okay. Then desktop or standalone applications. Desktop or standalone applications. Without internet also it will be working. Without internet also it will be working. So without internet, what are the applications are working in the desktop? Like Microsoft Excel. So is there any need to internet for Excel or Word? No need, right? Guys, are you able to understand? Respond, guys. Are you able to hear me, ma?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So desktop or standalone applications. So without internet also it will be working. Examples like Microsoft Excel, Word, Notepad plus plus, calculator, like calendar, photo shoot, like paint, gamings, etc. So these are all Working without internet also it will be working. So those are all comes under desktop or standalone applications. Okay. So clear everyone what is software and how many types of softwares we have?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we will move into like testing. So what is testing, guys? What is testing?
To test the application.
Very good. Testing means checking whether the application or software is working properly or not. It is nothing but testing. So testing means checking whether whether the application or software is working as per the customer requirement, as per the customer requirement or not. Or software testing means checking whether the application or software is working properly or not. Working properly or not. It is nothing but testing. Testing means checking whether the application or software is working properly or not. It is nothing but testing. Or testing means in simple terms, you can identify the defects. You can identify the defects in the software or application. That is nothing but testing. That is nothing but testing. So here testing means checking whether our application or software is working properly or not. So what is application? What is meant by application? What is meant by application? So for example, testing means like we can test a pen. Okay. So we got a new pen. We don't know if it works or not. Okay. So what do you do? So you can try to write. You can try to write with it, right? So you can take the pen and try writing with it. So if it writes, then the pen will be working. So the test case will be passed. If it doesn't write, then the pen doesn't work. Right? It is failed. Like that, you can test the application also. So for example, if you give like 2 plus 3, so it will be given you 5, then it will be passed. It will be given as 7, then it will be failed. Okay, that is nothing but testing. Testing means checking whether the application or software is working properly or not. It is nothing but testing. So what is meant by application? What is meant by application? Application means what? What is application?
Collection of
Collection of?
programs.
It is a software. Collection of programs, you can call it as a software. What I will ask you, what is application? So like Flipkart is an application, right? So Flipkart is an application. Amazon is an application. Myntra is an application, right? So if I'm taking here Myntra is an application. So this is the application. So if I am clicking here main session, it will be navigating into another web page. The URL will be changing, right? URL will be changing here. If I am clicking here kids, the URL will be changing here. If I am clicking here home, the URL will be changing here. Okay. If I am clicking here studio, so the URL will be changing here. Right? So the URL every time the URL will be changing. URL will be changing. So you can call it as a this is one web page. And if you are clicking here women, this is one web page. And then if you are clicking here kids, this is one web page. So what I am saying you, so application is nothing but nothing but group of web pages, group of web pages or group of web elements, group of web elements. Group of web elements or group of or collection of group of or collection of functionalities. Collection of functionalities. We can call it as a application. Application is nothing but group of web elements. Application is nothing but group of web elements. Group of web elements or group of web pages or group of or collection of functionalities. Collection of functionalities. We can call it as a application. Can call it as a application. This is one web application. This is one web application. So if I am clicking here main session, so it will be navigating into another web page. So if I am clicking here women, it will be navigating into another web page. If I am clicking here kids, it will be navigating into another web page. Every time the URL will be changing here. Every time the URL will be changing. So this group of web pages, we can call it as an application or group of web elements. Web element is nothing but here men is a web element, Mintra logo is one web element, woman is one web element, kids is one web element, home is one web element, search bar is one web element, and then here like profile is one web element, wish list is one web element, tag is one web element, this scroll down is one web element. Everything, anything in the application is nothing but an web element. Everything in the application is nothing but an web element. Our group, our collection of functionalities, we can call it as an application. We can call it as an application. So web element. So I'm calling here web element. So what is web element? Web element is nothing but web element. What is web element means? So the web element, any field in the application, any field in the web application, any field in the web application is nothing but an web element. Any field is nothing but like link or checkboxes or text boxes or logos or any text or scroll downs, everything in the application, everything in the application is nothing but an web element, nothing but an web element. Any field in the web application is nothing but an web element. Any field in the web application is nothing but an web element. So application is nothing but group of web pages or group of web elements or collection of functionalities. We can call it as an application. Web element is nothing but any field in the web application is nothing but an web element. Either it may be a checkbox or either it may be a text boxes or logos or text or scroll downs or drop downs or the links and radio buttons, all everything, any field in the application, anything in the application is nothing but an web element. Is nothing but an web element. So if I'm opening this application, so we have here like URL, right? URL. So what is meant by URL? URL means what? URL.
Uniform Resource Locator.
Uniform resource locator. URL means uniform resource locator. Uniform resource locator. So URL is a link, right? URL is a link. It is a link. URL is a link which is used to launch or log in the or open the application, which is used to launch, the application or open the application. Launch the application or Open the application. It is nothing but URL. Nothing but URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. URL is a link which is used to launch or open the application. Open the application. So examples for URL means like we have like https colon www.amazon.com, www.amazon.com. Okay, https www.amazon.com. This is one link. And then https www.mintra.com. Same. http comma. Okay, so amazon.com or gmail.com, etc. So these are all links. These are all links. URL means Uniform Resource Locator, and URL is a link which is used to launch the application or open the application. Examples like https www.amazon.com or flipkart.com or gmail.com or salesforce.com. So these are the examples of URL. Examples of URL. So HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Security, and www is nothing but World Wide Web. World Wide Web. It is nothing but an URL. It is nothing but an URL. Okay. So and then client. Who is client? Who is client? Who is client? The owner of the application. The owner of the application. The owner of the application. The owner of the application or product. The owner of the application or product. We can call it as a client. We can call it as a client. Okay. So the alternate name of application is nothing but alternate name of application is product. The alternate name of application is product. Alternate name of application is product. Client. Who is client means the owner of the application or product. The owner of the application or product. It is nothing but a client. Client means a client is a person. A client is a person who will spend certain amount of money to develop the application, to develop or create the application, to develop the application or to create the application, nothing but client. It is nothing but client. The owner of the application or product, we can call it as a client. A client is a person who will spend certain amount of money to develop the application or to create the application. It is nothing but client. Nothing but client. So the Amazon is developed application, right? So we are owners of the Amazon, or we are owners of the Zomato, are we owners of the Swiggy, are we owners of the Meesho? No, right? So we are the users. We are the users of the application, right? We are the customers of the application, right? So Amazon is developed by someone. The owner of the Amazon is different, and we are using the application and we are purchasing the products and we are buying some products through Amazon, right, my everyone? So that is nothing but client. That is nothing but client. Okay. For example, we can take rent house. Example, we can take here rent house. Rent house. So example I am taking here rent house. So the owner of the house is nothing but client. The owner of the owner of the house. The owner of the house is nothing but a client. Is nothing but a client. The owner of the house is nothing but client. Okay, and the tenant who rent the house is nothing but customer. Tenant who rent the house, who rent the house is nothing but customer, is nothing but customer, nothing but customer. Tenant who rent the house is nothing but customer, is nothing but customer. So tenant means the tenant is the person who pays money to live in a house or in apartment. That is nothing but a tenant. So here the owner of the house is client and the tenant who rent the house is nothing but a customer. Is nothing but customer. Okay. Clear everyone? Who is client? Then customers. So tenant who rent the house is nothing but customer. So now what is customer? What is customer? Customer. Who is customer? So who is customers? So customers means the person who will use that application is nothing but customer. The person who will use the application, who will use the application is nothing but like client, customer, a person who will use the application or product is nothing but a customer. Or users of the product or application is nothing but customers. Users of the application, users of the application or product, users of the application or product is nothing but customers, is nothing but customers, nothing but customers. So we are all customers. We are all users of the application, like either it may be a Flipkart application or Amazon application or Swiggy application or Zomato application. So we are all customers. We are all users of that application, right? So that is nothing but customer. So that is nothing but customers. Customers. Example, tenant. Example, tenant. Example, so here tenant. So we are all users of the Amazon or we are all users of the Meesho and we are all users of the Swiggy application. Right? So example taking here tenant. This is nothing but customer. Nothing but customer. Then what is application and what is product? What is application and what is product? All of you know, right? So the application is a group of web pages or group of web elements or collection of functionalities. We can call it as an application. So the alternate name of application is nothing but product, right? Already we will see that one, like application. Just copy that one and paste here. Okay, application or product. Now, do you know what is application? Now, what is project? Project. What is project? Product is nothing but the alternate name of product is nothing but application. Application is nothing but group of web pages or group of web elements or collection of functionalities. We can call it as an application. Now, what is project? What is project? To handle that applications using coding is nothing but the project. Handling the application using coding, using coding is nothing but the project, is nothing but the project. Handling the application using coding is nothing but project. So, application is nothing but group of web pages or group of web elements or collection of functionalities. We can call it as an application. So the alternate name of application is nothing but product. So now what is project? Project is nothing but to handle the application using some coding is nothing but project. For example, so I'm running this script. So just run as and then run as Java application. Java application. Now you can observe how the browser will be launching. So now the application will be launching. And then it will be maximizing, and then it will be taking full name, email address, current address, and permanent address. Right? So we have here, you can observe this application, you can observe this web application. So we have here Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. So this pop-up message will be displayed in this application by using automation. By using automation, this pop-up message will be displayed. By using manual, when I am opening the application by manually, so is it any pop-up message will be displayed? No, right? It is not displayed any pop-up message because we are not automated here. So we are humans. We are humans. By using human interaction, you can launch the application. We can launch the application. But by using automation tool, we can launch the application. So that's why it is comes like Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. So this is nothing but project. This is nothing but project. After developing the project, then it will be a product. Then it will be a product. So that is the difference between project and product. Project and product. So project is nothing but handling the application using coding. Coding is nothing but automation tool only. Is nothing but the project. To handle the application using some programming, using some coding is nothing but project. Okay, so in simple terms, product is nothing but a software is developed for multiple customers based upon the market requirement. Then it is called product. A software is developed for multiple customers based upon the market requirement. Then it is called product. A software is developed for specific customer based upon the customer requirement. Then it is called project. Then it is called project. So that is the different basic difference between project and product. In detail, we can see the further sessions. What is the difference between project and product? What are the companies are available? What is project-based companies? What are the product-based companies? Like we'll see the further concepts, like what is the difference between project and product. Okay. And then why we are learning testing? Why we are learning testing? So why we are learning testing?
Java automation or Python automation?
Sorry?
The course is Java automation or Python automation?
Java automation. So automation testing, we are using the tool called Selenium and using the programming language here, Java programming language. So in Selenium tool, it will be integrate different types of like programming languages, like Python programming languages, like Selenium with Python, like Selenium with C#, like Selenium with Ruby, Selenium with Perl, Selenium with JavaScript. Like different types of programming languages are available to integrate with Selenium. But we are using, in our course, we are using Selenium with using Java programming language. Okay. So here we are using Java programming. So why we are learning testing means? So testing should be happened on any kind of applications. So testing should be happen any kind of applications. any kind of applications. So any kind of applications is nothing but like e-commerce application, okay, or banking application, or like a constructions application, or like a pharma, okay, or like insurance. Anywhere testing should be happened. Any kind of applications testing must and should, like pharma, like healthcare, okay, healthcare, etc. Healthcare, etc. Testing should be happened. Any kind of applications, any kind of applications is nothing but like e-commerce application, or like banking applications, or construction applications, or pharma, or insurance, or healthcare, or PF, whatever it may be. So in any kind of applications, we need testing. We need testing. So the application can be banking, or pharma, or construction, or whatever it is. So if you want to develop any application, testing is mandatory, guys. Testing is mandatory, because without testing, no one company will never provide the particular application to the client without testing. So testing will be happen in any kind of application. In any kind of application, testing will be happened. And one more point, why we learn testing means, and testers are the bridge. Testers are the bridge, bridge or pillars. Testers are the bridge or pillars in between the companies and the clients. In between the companies and the clients. In between the companies and the clients in the application development. In the application development. Application development. Okay, so testers are the bridge or pillars in between the companies and the clients in the application development. So development is there or not? Some companies like development is there, some companies are not, some companies. It is not mandatory. But most of the companies, like 99.99% of the companies will perform testing each and every applications. So we are all the pillars in between the companies and the clients. So that's why we are all the pillars in between the companies and clients. So are you able to understand, ma'am? So like testing is not related to any hype or boom. Any hype or boom. Because testing will be there forever. Testing will be there forever. Testing will be there forever. So testing is not related to any hype or boom, because testing will be there forever. So why we will learning testing means, testing should be happened in any kind of applications like e-commerce, banking, construction, pharma, insurance, healthcare. Okay, in any kind of applications we are using testing. So if you want to develop any application, testing is mandatory, guys. So that's why we will learn testing here. Okay, so that's why we learn here testing. So why testing is required? So why testing is required? Why testing is required on the applications? On the applications. Why testing is the required on the applications? And what are the roles and responsibilities of a tester? What are the roles and responsibilities? Roles and responsibilities for a tester. For a tester. Tester is nothing but manual tester. Manual or functional. Functional. Manual or functional tester. Okay. So why testing is required on the applications and what are the roles and responsibilities for a tester like manual or functional tester. Okay. So this is the concept. This concept we will see on tomorrow session. Okay. So up to now, what we discussed today's session, like what is software and how many types of softwares we have, what is system software, what is programming software, and what is application software, and what is meant by testing, and what is application, and what is web element, and what is URL, and client, customers, and application, what is the difference between project and product, and why we are learning testing. Why we are learning testing. So the next concept is why testing is required on the applications and what are the roles and responsibilities for a tester, for a manual tester or functional tester. So we will see this concept on tomorrow session, guys. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Any questions?
Now, what is the syllabus covered here? Please show me.
Syllabus. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give you just brief introduction. What is the topics we are going to discuss throughout our course? Like introduction to software testing, like what is software and its types, and what is testing and why we need testing, and what is software testing and why it is needed, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of using software testing, and what are the jobs are available in the market for software testing, and what are the testing types we have for software testing, and what are the methodologies and what are the levels of testings we have to perform for the application, like white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing, and SDLC phases and process, like software development life cycles, phases and process, and then like requirement specifications. So these are the documents we have, like 3 types of documents we have. So that is nothing but requirement specifications, and what are the levels of testings we have to perform for the web application, like unit level testing, integration level testing, system level testing, user acceptance testing, and real-time process awareness for the project, like what is project and what is product, and how many companies are available in the market, and what is product-based companies and what is project-based companies, and then what is MVC architecture, like how many types of MVC architectures we have, and what is the real-time project execution team members we have, and what are the departments are available in the software companies, and what is the testing roles and responsibilities. As a junior tester, what is your role, and what as a junior tester, what is your responsibility? Like software test engineer, what is your responsibility? As a test lead, what is your responsibility? As a test manager, what is your responsibilities? So all those things we have to discuss. And then project management plan. So how to enter entry criteria to prepare the project management plan, and exit criteria to prepare the project management plan. What is the main aspects of using project management plan? Okay, so what is the main purpose of using project management plan, and what are the terminologies we are going to discuss throughout the project? What are the main terminologies we are using for software testing? Okay, and then SDLC models, like waterfall model, spiral model, prototype model, agile model, V&V model, like different types of models we have to see. And then STLC, software testing life cycle, like test planning, test design and development, test execution. These are the phases we have for STLC. Okay, so we'll see on STLC, then test planning, what is test plan and why it is important, what is the difference between test plan and test strategy, what is the entry and exit criteria to prepare the test plan, and these things we have to see under test planning. Then test design and development, what is test scenario, what is an entry criteria and exit criteria to prepare the test scenarios, and what is meant by test case, what is an entry and exit criteria to prepare the test cases. Okay, what is testing technique, why we are using testing techniques, how many types of test case design techniques are there, what is RTM. Okay, then test execution process, like what is bug, how many types of bugs are there, how we can identify the defect, how we can report the defect, how we can track the defect, and how we can retest the defect, how to exit the testing, that is nothing but test closure. So like builds testing URL from development to testing, So how the build will be going, how the working flow for the build. Okay. Then defect management using Trackless and Zira. In manual testing, we are using the tools called Trackless and Zira, Bugzilla, like Quality Center, Mantis, okay, ALM, like different types of tools are available to report the defects in by manually. So like what is defect? What is the difference between error, defect, bug, and failure? What is the major activities in defect management? Like defect tracking tools, what are the tracking tools we have? What is the structure? What is the project build workflow we have? What is defect severity and how many levels of severities are there? What is defect priority? How many levels of priorities are there? Like defect lifecycle phases and process, like types of testings, like functional testing, non-functional testing, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, alpha testing, beta testing, static, dynamic, smoke testing, BVT testing, and then sanity testing, retesting, regression testing, interface testing, front-end testing, back-end testing, end-to-end testing, ad hoc testing, monkey testing, exploratory testing, compatibility testing, installation testing, usability testing, globalization testing, 18N, nothing but internationalization testing, reliability testing. And non-functional testing, we have performance testing, stress testing, load testing, volume testing, scalability testing, maintainability testing, recovery testing, security testing, configuration testing, and reliability testing. So these are all comes under manual testing, guys. Then coming to the core Java part. So we have language fundamentals, like what is introduction to Java program, what is Java, who invent Java, is there any full form for Java, what is core Java and why it is popular. Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of using Java programming, how to download and install the JDK, how to download and install Eclipse, how we can create the Java project, what is the syntax for Java project, Java program, what is the sample Java program we have, what is class, object, and method. Okay, variables, like global variable, local variables, data types, primitive data type, non-primitive data types, string comparisons. So around we have 16 methods we have for string comparisons, and then operators, arithmetic operator, unary operator, relational operator, conditional operator, and assignment operator. Then conditional statements are control flow statements, decision making statements, looping statements, jumping statements. So decision making statements, we will see like if else, if else if, and then switch statements. Then looping statements, while loop, do while loop, for each loop, and for loop. Jumping statements, break, continue, and return. Then arrays concept, like single dimensional array, multi-dimensional array. User-defined methods, Java access modifiers, OOPS concepts, constructors, collections frameworks, exception handling. Okay, so these concepts we will see like Java, and then Selenium. So we have like automation, why you go for automation, advantages and disadvantages of automation, why you are not to go for automation, and what are the automated functional testing tools we have, what is Selenium, what are the advantages we have, Selenium QTP differences, components, this Selenium WebDriver, advantages and disadvantages for Selenium, how to download Selenium server standalone jar file, how to configure Selenium server standalone jar file to your project, how to launch the browser, how to communicate with the browser, how to work with the browsers, what are the browser interaction commands we have, locators, validating an application, edit box or text box, visibility of an web element, mouse over actions, radio buttons, drop downs, frames, alerts, windows and tab handling, scroll down operations, keyboard actions, screenshots, Excel operations, log4j, wait methods, TestNG framework, cookies, Maven creation, and then frameworks, and then automating window components. So we will see here Cucumber framework, POM framework, and data-driven framework, and hybrid framework, along with the TestNG. Okay, so these are the topics we are going to cover throughout the course, like manual testing and automation testing using Java programming. Clear, everyone? So we will see the next step on tomorrow's session, guys.
Ma'am. Hello.
Hello?
I want to for the Python automation test.
Sorry? What do you want?
Python automation testing.
Python automation testing. I am not providing Python automation testing. I am giving you only Java.
Any course from here for Python automation testing?
Yeah.
Is DurgaSoft provided?
So, 1 minute, wait. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So
Hello.
we will talk. We will talk on tomorrow session. Okay.
Any course
Actually,
for Python?
okay. So you can consult with management. You can talk to management once.
They are not
They will update
responding.
you. If Python course is available, they will update you.
Okay.